Today I'm going to be showing you some back to school braids for kids. So this is just going to be a little bit of a tutorial. This is Raylan and we'll go ahead and start. The first one I'm going to do, Raylan obviously has very long hair, and so I'm going to go ahead and part her off. She's got a little bit of a side part, so we're going to go ahead and part that down the middle. What I'm going to be showing you are just some pretty easy, quick styles that don't take a lot of effort, but are really cute. First one I'm doing is going to be a French braid, and so what I need for that are just some little hair ties and some bobby pins. To start this, I'm just going to part her off in the front. I've made kind of like a triangle, just taking a diagonal parting, and I'm going to start my French braid. I've got my 3 strands, and pretty much for a French braid all you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take the middle one and cross them underneath. So take the one in your right hand, you'll cross it under, that'll now become the middle, and you'll take the one in your left hand and cross that under the middle. So essentially that's all that you're going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the French braid. Try to make sure that you've got your sections pretty smooth. Before I started, I put in some precious oil in her hair that softens and makes her hair really manageable, since she does have long hair and it's naturally pretty curly. So I'm just making sure as I go I've got nice smooth sections and I'm keeping the tension even. And since this is going to turn into kind of a pigtail, I want to make sure that I'm kind of going up and around so it can lay on the front of her shoulder. Always making sure that I'm smoothing her hair out so it's not getting tangled on the ends. Once I've gotten all of the hair and her parting in, I'm just going to go ahead and braid it all the way down and leave about 3 inches at the bottom. Still keeping my tension pretty good. I'm also going to be doing a little extra with this, so I'm making sure I'm not braiding this too tightly because I do want to be able to loosen this up a little bit. There's the first braid. I've left about probably 4 or 5 inches at the bottom. And so I'm going to go ahead and start at the other side. Okay, so now I've put in the second braid. So the next step that I'm going to do to take this even farther, which this is very cute by itself, but I'm going to go ahead and loosen the tension in all of these. That just adds a little bit more of a dramatic flair, and it's really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the bottom of each of the ponytails, and I'm going to take each of these braids that I've made, and I'm going to pull just a little bit of the hair from each braid all the way up throughout, starting at the bottom so that the tension stays the same. And this just creates a really cute, fun, flowy, big braid that looks really difficult, but really it's really easy. And don't worry if it starts getting tighter through here. You'll go back through and you can re-loosen some of that up once you get all the way through to the top. I always hold the bottom of the ponytail, and that's why I left about 5 inches at the bottom, because it is pulling some of the hair through here so that I didn't run out of hair at the bottom and I lose some of that braid. So I'm just going to continue to pull this through, and that's why in the beginning I said to keep the tension a little looser while you're braiding so that you do have room to be able to do this. So I'm just going to go back through the bottom since I finished all the way through to the top and pull some more of these through because I do want them a little bigger. It's okay if they're messy. She has no layers in her hair, but if the little girl does, it's really cute. You can just kind of let those loose hairs fly out and spray them, and it just looks really messy and cute. And it looks like you invested a lot of time in it when you really didn't. So just go back through any parts that you want to be a little bit bigger. There's the first braid. And we'll continue on to the second part of that. Make sure that when you do this, it's always best to do it on dry hair also. And the reason that I say to do this on dry hair is because when you're doing it on wet hair, you're not going to get the looseness. It's all just going to pull out on its own. Sometimes you might have to grab in the middle and kind of pull that apart. That just loosens the hair. And then once you're finished, you can spray it if you want, but I'm going to do a few more tutorials on this particular model, so I'm not going to spray it, but that is the finished product. So now that I've finished this really cute braid, I'm going to go ahead and show you one more thing that you can do with this if you choose to not leave this down. And so this is just a really easy, fun thing to do. What I'm going to do is, now that I've got this finished, I'm going to go ahead and where I've attached it up here, I'm going to spin this around, hold it flat, and I'm going to roll it around kind of like a flower. I'm going to tuck the ends in there, grab some bobby pins, and just secure it in between the braid so you can't see it. So all I'm doing, I'm not even opening the bobby pin, so this is really easy. I'm just going to stick it straight down and attach it to the hair underneath. You know, maybe they start the school day with these braids and they come home and you're going to go somewhere and they've kind of messed up a little more than you wanted. Just go ahead and twist these around. That's what it'll look like when you're finished. It kind of looks like a cute little flower. And I'm going to take the other end. I'm going to spin that around and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You want to just go ahead and pull it up and have two of them in the same spot on opposite sides, you can do that. Or if you would like, another thing that you can do is grab another bobby pin, pull this braid over and pin it in. So you're just going to pin it right to the head, straight down, and you can even attach it to the other side by just pinning them together. And then you can take it and spin it around right here, tuck that little end under, grab a couple more bobby pins, stick them straight back in. Make sure it's nice and secure. I'm going to grab just a couple more to be safe. If you want hairspray, you can. If you choose not to use hairspray, that's fine too. But in the end, you've got this finished product. You can add a cute little flower clip or a little clip under here, or you can just leave it like that and add a little bit of hairspray to it just to secure it. And there you go. This is my next model, Ava. And I'm going to show you just a couple of cute hairstyles to do on short hair. She's got very short, very fine hair, and I know sometimes it's hard to figure out what to do with those. So I'm just going to show you a couple different braiding techniques for that. The first one is, she's got some short bangs, and I know a lot of people think that you can't do braids and bangs. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you that you can. I'm going to take where her part is, turn her head towards me just a little bit, and part this off, just a straight little section. And I'm going to go ahead and do another French braid. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to start it without attaching any hair yet, about twice. Now the different thing I'm doing with this braid is instead of grabbing from the front and the back, I'm going to grab from just the front. So I'm just going to braid this back, kind of going at an angle, since she does have such fine, thin hair, so she's still got some down here. And it's okay for these to be messy. I know sometimes kids have a lot of layers in their hair. It's hard to get all those down and in there. So I'm going to finish that off, and instead of using a ponytail, since she does have so many layers, I'm going to grab a bobby pin and just put it in there right underneath the hair and push it in. Sometimes you might need 2 or 3. Sometimes your kid's hair may be really fine and thin and silky, and it's harder for these to grab a hold. So just take as many as you need to do that. Sometimes you may need to rearrange these bobby pins just a little bit and flatten it. And with the same thing, I can take this even though I don't have a hair tie in it and kind of loosen this just a little bit so it's not as uniform, and it's just got a little more character to it. There's different things that you can do from here. Sometimes I'll just take a little bit of her hair, even if I decide maybe I don't like. So she's got a cute little bang in the front with a braid in it. Usually I'll go through and maybe curl her hair. I know a lot of kids really like kind of the lifted look with the braid, so this braid kind of gives you that, where you're only taking it from the front sections. Instead of grabbing from the back, you're grabbing from only the front, so it kind of lifts this up a little bit, adds a little bit of character to it. So that's a really easy braid to do for a really short hairstyle for a girl with really fine, thin hair. So I'm going to show you a second hairstyle option for a little girl with fine, thin hair for braids. So I'm going to leave this side, since she's got a little more hair on this side. You can do some fun things with this if you want to curl it, if you want to just leave it straight. And I'm going to focus more on this side of her head. It's a little thinner, and there's not as much to do with it. So I'm going to show you just a cute little braid that you can do on the thinner side of the head that is really cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start in the front. She's got her diagonal part right here, And so I'm going to take a triangle, so I'm going to take another diagonal line and start a cute little French braid there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down this way and bring some of this hair into it and pin it. So like I said to start, I'm going to take this at a diagonal parting. Make sure I comb it smooth. Again, she's got some layers in her hair, so it's not going to be perfect. You can hairspray it if you want. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did to the other side. And what I'm going to do is grab only from this front section to begin with. And the reason I do that is it adds a little lift, it adds a little bit of a volume, especially for a little girl that's got fine, thin hair. So I'm going to continue braiding and only pulling from the front side of her head, the side closest to her ear. Braid this down. Now as you can see, I've got a few little flyaways in there, and that's alright. It's not going to be perfect. I braid it as far as I can get it. I may have to pin it, and I might have to just start another new braid, but that's alright also. Again, I'm using bobby pins to pin this because her hair is so short and fine. It's hard to get a hold of. So I'm going to pin this underneath. I'm using bobby pins as close to the natural color of her hair as I can so that they're easily hidden. I'm just pinning those right there. Now another thing that you can do with this, if it's not long enough to go all the way down, is you can take it and just kind of twist it a little bit. And this kind of gets it off their neck if it's hot out, if they're in the sun a lot. Just kind of twist it and roll it underneath. And all I'm doing is grabbing the hair from right underneath there. I'm going to pin this. This is another style that would be really cute if you had a little flower to put in it. Do some curls on the other side. Turn your head this way for me. You could even grab the front of it and pin it right there with it. You can see I've got some little pieces falling down. I'm just going to continue to pin. Sometimes it's a little hard to get a hold of some of those hairs. And you may have to start over and retry. But it's a cute way to get a little bit of the style in there and get their hair up. Maybe put a little flower on the side. Leave their bang in the front. And they've got a cute little side braid.